Hey guys, it's James from the Brew-Q. I wanted to talk a little bit about a new brew store that's on the north side of Houston. You saw me go to a different one, but I want to go ahead and go over this one because this is pretty new. And I've really grown to like this store. So if you haven't heard of it, it's right here on the northwest side off of 249, just north of Spring Cypress, but it's called Cypress Grape and Grain. So we're gonna go inside and see if the owner will give me a tour of his store. Let's go. Let's go inside. This is Henry. Henry's the brew store owner. Tell us a little bit about your store, Henry.
Cypress Grape and Grain. We're a homebrew and winemaking supplier. We've been here since December of 2013, so it's just over 2 years we've been open, and so far it's working. So that's I discovered your store driving up the highway one day. I saw the Grape and Grain. I had to stop in and see what it was, and I've come in here and kind of tickled my curiosity a few times, and maybe not made any big purchases the first few times, but I've kind of started to develop a great interest in your store because it's so close to my house, and it's close to a lot of the North Houstoners that used to have to go all the way down to the south side for the closest brew store. So it's, you're doing the community a good deed by having this store here. Yeah, we're the only one out here, so that's kind of why we're here. That's
right. Yeah, so I'm excited. I come in your store and everything's nice and neatly placed and pretty easy to get around. Pretty much walk in and you can kind of find everything you need, from bottle cappers to bottle caps to carboys.
We try to have everything. It's hard to have everything, but we try.
So give me a tour here. What do we got?
We'll start over here. As you already mentioned, all the bottle caps and cappers and bench cappers up here. Primarily here too is all the equipment that you need for brewing beer. Fermentation buckets and bottling buckets and bungs and rubber stoppers and straining bags and racking tubes, bottle brushes, naturally bottles.
Oh yeah, you gotta have plenty of bottles.
Yeah, plenty of bottles. And over here is more or less all the siphoning equipment, along with some 5-gallon glass carboys. So we have auto siphons and bottle fillers, and
you got some growlers down here.
Some growlers down here.
Yeah.
Some fruit flavorings up here, so you can make just run-of-the-mill wheat beer or plain wheat beer, and then come back and flavor it with, say, blackberry or blueberry or cranberry, and the ladies tend to like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, my wife likes flavored stuff. I ain't gonna lie. She really liked the cider kit I brewed up from your store before. So.
And here we have various cleaning chemicals, B-Bright, PBW, Star San, Iota 4 sanitizer, hydrometers, thermometers, alcohol meters.
Some books on brewing.
Some books on brewing and winemaking.
I think I own a few of those books. I think we all should own a few of those books.
Yeah, a couple of these two are really good. The Complete Joy of Homebrewing by Charlie Papazian.
Yeah.
How to Brew by Palmer. Those are like the two go-to books.
Yeah, I love that Palmer book. He just knows a lot about brewing, and when he started, it was like, there was no official guidelines as much. He just knew that he saw people brewing and he decided to brew his own beers, and then he decided to write a book about water chemistry and all that. And I'm not really that good about my water chemistry, but
I keep the rules on water simple. If your water tastes good, use it.
Right. So if you drink the water and it doesn't taste bad,
you can make it as complicated as you'd like.
You can.
Here we have
Brewer's Best kits galore.
These are beer ingredient kits,
which are great for beginners.
They are good for beginners. Normally what beginners will do is they'll start off making these kits, because the kits come with real good instructions and all the ingredients you need to make 5 gallons of beer.
But like we were saying, Brewer's Best kits are a good way to get started.
Yeah, they're great for beginners, and some people just stay brewing this way because for the most part, they make good beers. These make 5 gallons. These are 1-gallon kits. They're fairly new. They've come out in the past 4 or 5 months, I guess, along with 1-gallon equipment kits. So you could do
A good way to get started.
a good way to get started. You can start off making a gallon. If you decide you like the process and all, you can always step up and buy the equipment to make beer in 5-gallon batches.
Yes, I was a kit guy. Started out with kits until I got comfortable with just the process of making beer.
Right. Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. They'll make 2, 3, 4 kits, and then they start branching out. You know, then they'll just come in here with a recipe, and we'll fill it with items off the shelf.
Yeah, and then when you got a nice selection of dry malt extracts.
Yeah, this is all the dry malt extract and
great for yeast starters and just making base beers, anyways.
right. And then we've got adjuncts like corn sugar and rice syrup solids and maltodextrin and lactose.
Good ABV bumpers.
Exactly.
You want that alcohol? Add a little more corn sugar.
Right.
And looks like you sell pre-assembled mash tuns.
We have a pre-assembled mash tun there if we do a step up to all grain.
Comes with false bottoms and valves and
It's got a
fittings.
stainless steel false bottom in it, stainless steel bulkhead, stainless steel valve. They hold temperature really, really well. You know, you can put your mash in mash at say 154 degrees for an hour. You just
They
put it
just
in.
hold it steady.
It holds it steady. You don't have to fool with it at all.
I'm using a mash tun just like that right now, actually, and it works wonders.
They work great.
So what do we got over on this side?
This side is mainly dedicated to wine. This board here is dedicated to pretty much beer kegging.
Yes.
So if you're into kegging your beers instead of bottling, we've got all the equipment you need to
Yeah, I just did
to get kegs and to service kegs and the parts for kegs and the connectors and.
Yeah, I just did a whole kegerator breakdown video, you know,
Right.
of all the parts involved, and
Yeah, I saw it in fact, I watched it this morning.
oh, did you? Good deal. Oh man, it was a pain in the butt with that tower, but
And then here we have more Belgian candy sugars and flavorings for beer, like lime peel and grapefruit peel. The grapefruit peel is good. Is something good to put in, say, an IPA for the spring and summer months. Mm-hmm. Give a little bit of tartness to a beer.
I love a good IPA in the summer. That and a blonde ale.
Right.
Something real sessionable, you
And
know.
then you got orange peel and things like coriander seed and paradise seeds, which they come in play a lot when you do with Belgian beers, which is mainly what the candy sugars are for too, for brewing Belgian beers. And then we've got chemicals for treating the water if you want to get detailed.
Water salts.
Yeah, your water salts and calcium carbonate and calcium chloride. Clarity Firm helps. It does what it says. It helps clear your beer, but it also makes your beer virtually gluten-free. They can't say it's gluten-free, but it is gluten.
But it's good for gluten diet.
Right,
type.
right. It's a gluten reducer.
What about these growlers? You got an assortment of growlers and bottles.
Well, essentially, it's just all the bottles and
that you sell.
that we sell.
Yeah, nice selection. So that's good. All right.
And then down here we have wine kits. This area of the stores, these are all red wines, and over here is all white wines. And back to the equipment kits for making wine. You got fermentation buckets. This is a floor corker.
You recommend a floor corker over?
Almost definitely. It's this. Whoop.
Yeah, looks like you could kind of lose control there.
Yeah, you really need two people. You need somebody to hold a bottle for you, or you got to get the bottle down here. And
what was that cost?
This costs $35.
35 versus.
And this costs $70.
Oh man, just double the price and
exactly.
You got convenience.
You do 30, 40 bottles with that, you'll run out and buy one of these, because that's exactly what I did when I started.
Yeah, I would dive into something like that,
Right.
just because of the simple fact of convenience. And but yeah, it looks like you got a nice choice set of wines to choose from. Concentrated wine juices. Or are they concentrated?
Yeah, they're concentrated.
Yeah, I thought they were, and you add water to kind of dilute them some.
Right, they're so if you want to make a Moscato, you've got concentrated Moscato grape juice. Chardonnay, same. It's concentrated Chardonnay grape juice.
And then looks like you've got all the shrink wrap for the top of your bottles.
Right, for the top of the bottles.
In case you want to like label what style or what type of wine it was.
And oak chips to put in the wine or beer.
Yeah,
Various clarifying agents for winemaking. And then These are all our wine bottles. I've got this in with the wine bottles, but this is really made for people making kombucha or making things like sauerkraut or pickles.
Oh wow!
So fermentation goes a little bit beyond just beer and wine, you know.
Right, I was thinking a lot of homebrew shops are starting to kind of touch the whole thought process of baking cheese.
Right.
So,
yeah, I don't have any cheese products in here yet, but I will in the near future.
Yeah.
Because there's more and more demand for it.
Yeah, it's just the art in general of making something. So,
Right.
But yeah, it looks like you got all your liquid malt extracts here.
That's well, these are the
Breeze.
special. Yeah, these are more or less specialized liquid malt extracts. I also sell liquid malt extract in bulk by the pound for the run-of-the-mill Golden Light, Pilsen Light, Amber, Wheat, Dark Munich. Whereas these are special dark, porter, pale ale, sorghum for making gluten-free beers, and Maris Otter malt extract was a fairly popular.
So if you don't like gluten or can't handle gluten, you can always make a gluten-free beer.
And they taste fairly good. They taste a lot better than what I thought they would.
Yeah.
The way somebody brings some into one of the tastings one time. And then here we have cider kits.
Yes, and I have made one of these before, and I plan on making another one
Yeah, they
because
make good cider.
the ladies like the ciders.
Yes. I normally have cider on tap here, but right now I don't. But my cider's in a fermenter right now, so I should have cider on tap here next week.
The cool thing about your store too is sometimes you have samples of some of this stuff ready to go, so people can taste it.
We've got 2 different beers on tap and a root beer. I always have root beer on tap for kids that come in.
Good deal. So let's take a look at you got some
Go back here. Yeah, we've got our grain room.
Grain room, yes.
And
for you all grainers.
This also doubles as our classroom for when we do wine and beer classes. So here we've got just all our grains. We've got 60, 65 different grains.
Oh yeah.
All of the base grains are in these trash cans, and all specialty grains are back here.
Yeah, ever since I went all grain, I've kind of stayed that way.
Right.
I like the body of the beer more.
Yep.
But
And you have more control over how it's going to come out too.
yeah, and you can kind of get you can kind of really play with chemistry on that, like cooking foods, you know.
Exactly.
But yeah.
And there's the bulk liquid malt extracts we were talking about that we'll pour it out by the pound and sell it by the pound here.
Okay.
And this is our grain mill. So when you buy grains here, we mill them for you.
Nice. Yeah, it looks like you have all your grains ready.
In fact, I made a grain run this morning to restock on grain. And here's our keezer.
Keezer. Always got to have a keezer in the homebrew shop.
We keep our samples on tap.
What do you got on tap right now?
Right now we have a Belgian Golden Ale that clocks in at 9.5% alcohol, and a wit beer that's just under 7%, and the root beer that I talked about earlier that we pretty much keep on tap.
Nice. So this is your classroom. Talk about your classes a little bit.
I'll start with the wine classes because that's kind of what took place in here the other night. So some of the stuff is still scattered around. In the wine classes, each person makes their own individual 1 gallon of wine, and that's what's down here. That's 2-gallon fermentation buckets for 1 gallon of wine.
Nice.
So they just started that this week, so it's in primary fermentation right now. They'll come back in 2 weeks. We'll move it to a secondary.
So with wines, it's a different type of cycle fermentation wise. Like you want to.
No, it's a little bit longer actually. It's a week in the normally it's a week in the primary and then about a month in the secondary.
Okay.
For the classes, we do 2 weeks in the primary, then we do 2 weeks in the secondary, and then they bottle.
Oh.
And then they have to wait about 3 months before it's really ready to drink. Which is what we've got going on here. This is a red wine that I'm making for the shop. This is a German Müller-Thurgau white wine that I made for the shop that's ready to bottle. And here's the cider I was talking about that we should have in the keg sometime next week.
Good.
It's ready to be moved to its next step, which is just add the sweetener to it. And
You know, the
it's ready to keg.
the people are telling me, like when I made the cider, I had a lot of people that actually preferred it more dry than sweet.
Right.
So maybe next time I make a cider, I may not do the back sweetening on it. I might just let it go dry like a wine.
You can let it go dry. What I do is I sweeten it while I use the sweetener that comes in the kit, but then I always boost the alcohol up anyway to make it a little drier.
Yeah.
So
because the higher the alcohol, the drier it is on the tongue for sure.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, looks like you got a nice backroom setup here. Nicely organized.
It's a stock room, grade room, classroom, all rolled in one.
Now, can people come back here and pick out their grains, or do you just take the grain bill from them and put it together?
I normally just take the grain bill from them. I've got some regulars that I don't mind. They come back here.
Right.
I think that it's just part of customer service. You know, I think I should provide that as a service as a shopkeeper. You know. So that's mainly why I do it. You know, some people like to do it themselves, but
all right. So yeah, I'm gonna go up here and
we skipped the hops and.
Oh yeah. So let's start here. Hops.
We've got hops and yeast in the cooler here.
Ton of hops.
We've probably got 50, 60 different hops. Everything from Adnam and Amarillo all the way to
Falconer Flight, U.S. Fuggles. I mean, it looks like you got a little bit of everything in here.
We keep a decent selection. The hops are another thing. It's hard to keep all of the hops, you know.
Yeah, and as a homebrew store, managing your yeast selection and the expiration dates on your yeast has got to be tough.
It is tough, but what I do is I'll order liquid yeast about every 6 weeks.
Okay.
And when I do, I send an email out to all my customers.
See what people want.
And saying, hey, I'm ordering yeast. Who wants what? Because my general order, you know, I've got a handful of yeast that I know are going to sell.
Right.
You know, but
like US-05 is a guaranteed seller.
US-05 is
04.
But
even your
White Labs 001 and California Ale.
Yeah. Typical yeast.
Sell plenty of those.
It's those custom ones like your Oktoberfest lager yeasts and your all your other specialty yeast that tend to be a gamble.
Yeah, like an American Hefeweizen.
Exactly.
You know, that's not exactly something people come in here every day to buy.
No.
And you have to be careful with it because, now the White Labs has extended their shelf life to 6 months.
Oh.
But it used to just be 4 months. Well,
maybe they're doing something a little different with their technology.
In the beginning, I was throwing out a lot of yeast because nobody's going to buy it past the expiration date, even though they are still good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when I brew here, that's how I pick my yeast.
You use the ones that are
something
expiring?
that's expired in the...
I do it all the time, too.
And it works.
Or do a starter and get the cell count up.
Right,
and then,
right.
And then starter don't really cost you anything but time.
Exactly.
So. All right, guys. So we did a wrap-up of Cypress Grape and Grain's store and what it has to offer. Henry here, the owner, is going to talk a little bit about what he's got going on in the homebrewing community. So, what do you got going on?
This week, we have a lot going on this weekend. We've got an all-grain demo tomorrow at 1 o'clock, which is, we just do an all-grain beer out in the front of the store in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And it's mainly set up for people just to come by and
say, what are you doing?
Say, what are you doing, answer questions. And a lot of people come by that already started brewing and are thinking about going to all grain. Okay. And then when they come see how easy it is, then they'll
grab a kit, grab some ingredients, and then you've made some money, and they're happy.
Right. And they'll normally just stick around for the mash portion. Once you get past that, it's boiling just the same as you've been doing with extract kits or whatever. So
yeah, that's what I've been telling people. Like, you know, when you're doing all grain brewing, it's less forgiving than starting with like an extract brew because the hard part has already been done for you. So once you think you're a master of brewing, then you can kind of get into learning about controlling your temperatures when you're doing mash.
Right. So. And then this Sunday, we're members of the American Homebrew Association.
Okay, good.
And they have their annual rally this Sunday at St. Arnold Brewery.
Oh, nice. Good choice of brewery.
That's a fun thing to go to. We go every year. We go and set up a booth and hand out cards and things like that. Donate some items to the raffle that they have. But it's free beer for 2 hours.
Can't beat that.
And all you have to be is a member of the American Homebrew Association.
What's it cost to be a member?
It's about $35 a year.
And what kind of comes with the membership?
Well, you get an e-magazine from them every month.
Okay.
A lot of brew shops, a lot of restaurants and such give AHA discounts. Like BJ's Brew Pub down here.
Yeah.
I think they give like a 10% discount for AHA members.
I did not know that.
Various things like that. They have different things throughout the year, throughout the country.
They do like pub crawls sometimes or anything like that?
No, I don't think they do so much pub crawls, but they have rallies at different breweries throughout the year. So if you missed the one in Houston, you can go catch one in San Antonio, Dallas,
well,
New
Texas
Orleans.
is so big though.
Right, right.
In Texas.
Exactly.
So you also have hosted a couple of podcasts in your store. You want to tell us?
Yeah, we had a podcasts through Interbrews.
Okay.
A guy named Josh Stewart does Interbrews podcast, and he's come here a couple of times. We've done podcasts on his channel.
All right. Awesome.
And that's gotten decent feedback. Yeah. So there's a lot of people out there that listen to podcasts and things like that. I was surprised.
But I listen to podcasts every day,
right.
And actually I listen to a podcast at work that uses a lot of profane language, so I have to put the earbuds in.
I see.
So I get in trouble by the boss.
Right.
But classes too. You do classes?
Yeah, we do beer and wine classes. Beer class is $30. You come 3 different nights. And you go home with a 6-pack of beer. We brew up a batch of beer.
And a whole batch of knowledge.
Right, yeah, hopefully.
Well,
And then the winemaking is set up a little bit differently, in that each person makes their own 1 gallon of wine.
Okay.
And then they take that home at the end of the course.
Now, how many of them drink it before they even get home?
Some of them try, but it doesn't taste very good because it has to age in the bottle.
But I'm sure there's people out there that just say, I know home brewers out there, especially in the YouTube world, that just can't wait long enough for their beer to be done.
Exactly.
And actually experience the beer for what it really should taste like. So there's one home brewer out there I know for sure on YouTube that he brews his beers and 2 weeks later he's drinking. So just can't wait.
Right.
But I wait. I always wait because the beers are so much better. In between times I can go grab a bottle of scotch or something.
Right. And the other thing we do here, we have a local brew club called the Trub Club.
The Trub Club.
The Trub Club. TRUB.
Okay.
And we meet here the 3rd Tuesday of every month at 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
And we try to do something fairly educational. Somebody will give a talk on subject matter related to brewing. So somebody will do a talk, say, on yeast. Or next month we'll do one on malt, and the next month somebody do one on water. So we try to make it semi-educational so that we can justify sitting around drinking beer for 2 hours.
So y'all also exchange beers? That
everybody brings samples of whatever they brewed in the past month or whatever. So we drink each other's beers.
Yeah, I see a lot of people. I'm not sure how many other places do the beer exchange club thing.
We do a beer exchange here the first Friday of every month.
I might have to participate.
So we've got one coming up next Friday, a week from today, because it's the first Friday in March.
Okay.
And that's turned out fairly well. It's interesting because sometimes you get 4 people here, sometimes you get 14 people. And when you get 14 people and everybody brings 3 different beers to taste,
you can have a little party.
You got a lot of beer.
A little bit of party. Because one guy don't drink quite as much as the other guy.
Right.
Online ordering. Do you offer to ship your products right now?
At the moment, we don't offer online ordering.
Okay.
I expect that we'll be in position to do that by the end of the year.
Okay.
So.
And the only reason why I asked, and it does say on the website that it's coming soon, is that you do have an online ordering tab that you can click on or link?
Not at the moment, no.
No.
In the near future, I will.
Okay, cool.
We're currently going through revamping the website right now. So.
Okay, because I think people that live out in the boonies or whatever, they get online all the time and they order, so you might be able to reach out to people that aren't in Texas or just anywhere else.
Well, actually what would help, because I get a handful of people from Brenham, Navasota, College Station, because think about it, I'm the closest brew shop to them.
That's true. Wow. Can you believe it?
And they've asked Hearn, and they've asked for doing online ordering. So
Yeah, that's crazy. You'd think that people would tap into that market, you know, somewhere out there in the boonies.
Right.
Oh well, I mean, it is what it is. But,
exactly.
Well, thanks for
all right. Well, thank
interviewing
you
with me. And if you guys live in Houston, come up to the north side and check out the brew shop. You won't be disappointed. So cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Bye.